Hey, welcome. This is Ed Logan with Fruit for Your Life again. Hey, so glad that you could join me. I wanted to talk to you today about my biggest mistake. My biggest mistake. Stick around to the end and I'll tell you exactly what that was. All right? All right, so let's talk about what my biggest mistake was. But before I talk about my biggest mistake, I want to talk to you about what my mistakes wasn't. Somebody else could look at that and interpret it as a mistake for them, but let's talk about some of these things that we may consider to be a mistake that may actually not be. But I do have one for you, all right? So some people could say that I could think about it and say, maybe it was my meal planning because I didn't have one. I literally did not plan out any of my meals. I just said, I knew I was in bad shape. I needed help. My body was hurting. I need to get the good food in me. So I didn't make a meal plan. I basically just went out, bought the fruit. I didn't cut it up and put it in no bowls. I didn't juice it. I didn't make it look like this beautiful salad or anything like that. I just basically said, I need to quit eating everything else and I need to get this food in me. So that was my reasoning. That was my purpose for not literally planning a meal plan out. I just knew I had to get the real stuff in me so that I could heal and stop hurting. So I couldn't make that my biggest mistake because I didn't have a meal plan, because I actually didn't want a meal plan. I just wanted to eat the good food. So I can't say necessarily that it was that, okay? Also, I didn't plan how much I was going to eat. I just ate till I was hungry. And I know a lot of people who may want to count their calories. They may want to watch their food intake and so forth and so on. Look, I knew that I like to eat. And I said, if I can change what I'm eating and still eat like I want to eat, I knew that putting the good food in me was going to alter everything. And then I knew that I would start eating less. I already had that figured out in my mind that I was going to be eating less. So that wasn't a mistake because I didn't, decide how much I was going to eat. Now, let me say this. For some of you, you may need to do that. I have friends who do their meal plan. They schedule it out. Hey, and I'm totally good with that. But for me, that wasn't something that was going to work for me. For me, I just knew that I needed to eat the good food. It didn't matter how much I ate. I just knew I needed to get that in my body. So that pretty much worked out for me, and I wound up losing 70 pounds from it, and I'm actually lost more, and I'm going to update that here probably coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to give you my new weight. But so that really wasn't a mistake. It could be looked as one, but it really wasn't. Okay, so how about I didn't anticipate the flabby skin that I was going to have? That could be a mistake, but I really didn't care that I was going to have flabby skin. I didn't think anything about it because I was so fixed on trying to get my health back. I was so fixed on dropping from those size 42 and size 40 pants. I wanted to drop them and get down to where I'm at right now, like wearing 32s are almost too big for me now. So that's what my focus was. It was just trying to make sure that I lost that weight and got my health back. So that couldn't be my biggest, mistake, was anticipating, flabby skin. As you can see, I've got a little bit right there and I got a little bit here. It's not as much as it was, apparent, and I'm grateful. But, I do have a little bit of flabby skin. It's not in excess, but I didn't anticipate that. So I'm not going to call that a mistake because I didn't anticipate it. I didn't know. Now I'm glad to know that you get flabby skin from losing an excessive amount of weight. And you're going to have to decide what you're going to do about that. Are you going to be okay with that flabby skin because we had excessive amount of weight? What are you going to do with that? Are you going to love yourself the way that you are, flabby skin and all? And some people go to a medical route and they have that skin cut away. So I'm not at a place where I have to make, that decision. The flabby skin that I've got around my waist, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to have it. Flabby skin in my arms, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to have it, So it's not that big of a deal. It's not what I call a mistake because I have flabby skin. Okay, what about this one? How about I didn't choose the right amount of weight that I said I was going to lose? So my goal was my YouTube goal was 190 pounds, and I'm just now getting to that place. But I've been at 198, 195 for a long time, for about 3 months. I've hovered in that area, but I still haven't gotten my goal weight, which was 190. And then on top of that, did I make a mistake by saying I was going to get down to 190? And my personal goal is actually 180. So was that a mistake? No. I mean, 70 pounds is good. I should be happy with that, but I'm not, because I still have not done what I said I was going to do and reach 190 pounds. I've been 3 pounds away from it. Still haven't hit it yet, so it's not good enough for me yet. And then after that, 180. I'm going to get that 180. I'm telling you, my own personal goal is 180 pounds. So is that a mistake that I made? Nah, I probably wouldn't say that that's a mistake. So what is my biggest mistake that I've made? Okay, so I started at the beginning of March, and that first week that I started, I went 5 days just to test it out. And I actually could have started then, but I wasn't quite finished playing with my food yet. I mean, I was ready. I knew that this worked. And within 5 days, I knew that it worked, but I still wasn't ready to quite give up that food yet. So I ate what I wanted to over the weekend. And then when the week started back, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I did it for 5 days again. Notice the difference again. But I just hadn't quite made that commitment. I knew what I was going to do. I knew the research that I had done. I knew that it was the best thing for me to do, but I just hadn't quite made that commitment. So when that 5 days was up the second time, that second week, I went back to the food again and I ate what I wanted to eat. So when the third week came, what did I do? I did it again. I started off and I finally decided that third week, this is it. I'm not going back, because I had played the first week. I had played the second week. I still hadn't given it up yet in my heart. In my mind, but not in my heart. So if there's a biggest mistake that I made, I have to be honest with you. I mean, can we just be for real? Can I talk for real with you? My biggest mistake that I made was I didn't start sooner. When you think about the impact, that was 2 weeks of my life that I allowed my blood pressure to be sky high. That was 2 weeks of my life that I allowed my heart to keep palpitating like it was, to feel like it was turning somersaults in my chest. That was 2 weeks that I held fluid all over my body and especially on my legs. That was 2 weeks. So like, how many seconds or how many minutes or how many hours really was that I took away from my life? You see, there's always a consequence to what we do. So I don't know whether I lost seconds of my life or whether I lost minutes off of my life. I don't know if I lost an hour off of my life because I waited those 2 weeks because I really still wasn't ready to give up that food. I really just don't know what I lost. So if I made a mistake, my mistake was that I didn't start sooner. I should have started a lot sooner, but I didn't. And yeah, we can say, oh, Ed, it just wasn't time for you yet. Yeah, it was time for me. I just Because I loved food so much, I chose not to do it. And that second week, I loved food so much that I chose not to do it. And I should have started 2 weeks. And now I don't know how much of my life I actually lost because my heart was over pumping, because the pressure in my veins, I really don't know. So the biggest mistake that I made was I didn't start sooner. So what's your biggest mistake? For those of you who are thinking about doing it, I'm going to tell you one of your biggest mistakes that you're doing right now is you're making it by not starting. Just do it. Trust me, just do it. You will love the outcome of the first week. You'll love the outcome of the 7th day. You'll be like amazed. Don't hesitate. Just do it. Many of you are on the fence. I talk to you. You say it. I look. You say it. Just do it. Don't wait any longer. You don't know whether you're taking seconds, minutes, hours, or days off of your life by waiting. Get those hours. Retake those hours. Don't give it up. It's life. That's 1 second, 1 minute, 1 day longer with your wife or your husband or your children or your grandchildren. Don't give up your time because what food is doing to you. It's not worth it. Your time is worth it. Make the decision today to make that change. You're right there. Don't quit. Don't give up. Make that change. I hope my mistake teaches you a lesson so that you don't make the mistake that I made. And if this was good for you, hey, put in the comments. If you're one of those who have been waiting and you needed somebody to talk to you just like this, put in the comments and let me know so that I'm doing my job. All right? Hey, it's good just being able to talk to you all. Though we're not really face to face, we're still talking. We're still talking because some of you actually talk back to me at the screen. I already know. So we're talking. Just make a decision to do it. Put it in the comments for me. Also, just click subscribe so that I know you're with me, that you understand what I'm saying, and I'm willing to help you in any way that I can. Join our Facebook public group. It's called Fruit for Your Life Community. It is a private group, but I'll let you in. So go ahead and join it and get in there. There's a lot of people in there who know a lot of information. There's people in there who know more than I do. And I don't consider myself to know everything, but there are people there who have done their research. Come and get the support. Come and get the friendship. Come and get the recipes that people are putting up. Hey, come in and get the juicing recipes that people are doing. Come in and get the motivation and get the inspiration. Fruit for Your Life Facebook community. All right? Fruit, the number 4. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.